For centuries, women have been unfairly responsible for family planning and pregnancy prevention, but also for taking care of children. Now, the ICMR has now concluded a study on the male contraceptive, RISIC, which is reversible inhibition of sperm under guidance, finding it to be safe and effective. It was a follow-up of 303 healthy male volunteers. Of course, it was a limited study and there's a lot more work and studies that will follow. RISIC is a non-hormonal injectable contraceptive that could provide long-lasting sterility with complete reversibility. Currently, vasectomies and condoms are the only methods of contraception for men. While in the past there have been research on oral contraceptives for men, there's only been so much progress. Let's understand from Arish Sharma, senior scientist who has been involved in the ICMR's male contraceptive project for over 20 years. He retired from ICMR last year and is now a distinguished professor at Sharda University in Greater Noida. Dr. Sharma, the ICMR has concluded a 7-year study on the male contraceptive in a country where birth control is largely seen as a woman's responsibility. Tell us, how did the project start and what does this mean for the country, its people and policy making?
You see, if you look at the contraceptive prevalence of the country today, that is as per the national NFHS file, it is approximately 67%. Now, the point is here is that the main burden of the family planning in this country is being shared or taken as a responsible by the women only. Yeah. So men are not able to take this responsibility of family planning in the country. Now the issue is this: there's not that certainly in India, so for the social structure of the male-dominating society or male responsible are different way. That is a different issue, but the option for the male are also not available. Not that much in comparative to option available for the female. Like for the female, there are the tuberculosis is there, the pills are there, the condom is there, the injectable are there, the diaphragm is there, the property is there. But so far the male is concerned, except this terminal method, that is an NSP, there is nothing. Or you can say the condom, but generally condom is not being used for the protection of the prevention of the pregnancy. Rather, the male use the condom. Therefore, the NFHS data, the condom prevalence is a little higher. This is only because they want to use it for the prevention of the transmission of HIV and STD and RDI, not for the prevention of pregnancy. So, this issue was debated in the country since 1980s, not because I joined ICMR in 1984 or at that time also. At that time, we had a task force that what type of male contraceptives should develop in the nation so that we can provide a suitable, effective, safe male contraceptive. Now, at that time, Professor S.K. Guha developed a polymer at IIT Delhi, and that project came to ICMR, which we saw that after providing the initial experimentation or initial data by Dr. Guha, that product has a potential. So we undertook this as a challenge, and that yes, and as you know that the job of the ICMR is to take the product from the laboratory and then to take to the people.
Right. Dr. Sharma, I know this is just work in progress and there'll be many more studies and trials involving more volunteers. But there are things that people want to know. How long would this contraception be effective and how safe is it? And more importantly, what could be the side effects and what kind of medical assistance does it require?
So you first question then what is the duration of this effectiveness? So that means that we followed this subject up to 7 years, and we noticed that this polymer remained very active and effective in all these subjects which been enrolled. So up to 7 years. But my experience as a principal investigator and chief coordinator of this study indicate that those subjects which I enrolled in 2000 for the limited phase 3 clinical trial, I followed up to 13 years, and I noticed that these subjects are quite, this polymer is quite effective and is quite safe. So for the side effects, as you mentioned, that the effect is concerned. So there is no any serious side effects. In the beginning, yes, I must mention here, there are in few subjects, there are little bit scrotal swelling is there. In few subjects, there is a little bit pain is also there. But this can be subsided within few weeks only. And if you provide some structural support to the subject, then it will not take any problem. And then throughout the life, the man is free for any type of side effects, and they don't even feel that they have taken anything in their body. So this is one of the important. One more point I would, if you permit me, I would like to mention for the national perspective is also concerned that you see in India the only 0.3% people male are accepting the vasectomy or NSP. It's very less. Though I understand there is no, but I'm happy to mention this thing on the national TV that. Particularly for the one community, that's our Muslim community, the people don't come forward for this contraceptive because in NSP we have to cut the vast difference and we remove as per the religious belief. That's true that they don't want to remove any body part. But in my trial, almost 10% Muslim people also came forward to accept this contraceptive. So in national perspective, this is a very important opportunity and very important contraceptive where all the people from all religion, including the Muslims, Sikhs, Isais and Hindus, everybody participated in this trial. So I think this is the best contraceptive which I think the government should promote it.
Right. Dr. Sharma, it's largely accepted that many men are not known to participate in family planning efforts. So how challenging do you think it would be to find manufacturers for this injectable? And how do you think the pharma industry looks at this?
Yeah, this is a very important point which when I was doing the limited phase 3 clinical trial, at that time I did also mention, face this thing. Because when I conducted the limited phase 3 clinical trial, which was the data was published in IGMR in 2018-2019, at that time we manufactured this drug at the laboratory level. But after the Drug and Cosmetic Act was revised, so at that time it was mandatory for all the clinical participants that the drug has to be manufactured under GMP conditions. So for us, we invited a number of pharmaceutical companies to come forward, and after following a proper process as per the government rules and regulation, one company that's called Glenmark Laboratory Limited came forward, and we gave contract to them to manufacture this drug for this our phase 3 clinical trial, which we gave this contract to 2007, and we started this trial. But after manufacturing one batch of this drug, this company stopped manufacturing. So we have to defer our trial. Therefore, this trial took a lot of time. Almost it took us 4 years to identify the new pharmaceutical company to take this product. But no any pharmaceutical company came forward to manufacture this drug because of the following reason. The one is, main important thing is that the manufacturing process of this drug is very complicated. Because this polymer react with the oxygen, this react with the moisture, and therefore you have to manufacture this polymer under nitrogen environment. So the inventor of the drug, Professor S.K. Goha, was contacted again that we have to establish a GMP facility. So with the help of the funding from ICMR as well as the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, we established a facility at IIT Delhi. And there we established a GMP facility where the drug for this phase 3 clinical trial was manufactured. So because of this reason, no any company coming forward to, and then one another reason, because this polymer is very viscous in nature. It's almost 300 times viscous than the water. So you need a syringe, manufacturing a syringe, that is also a very challenging task. But certainly Dr. Gohar overcome all these issues. He helped us and undertaking this trial in a great way, because all challenges has to be resolved. So certainly the manufacturing part is a very important.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for speaking to NDTV. We also have Poonam Mutreja, Executive Director, Population Foundation of India, with us. Thank you, ma'am. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. So the data shows that female sterilization is the most widespread method of family planning, and you've done a lot of work on this, and over a third of India's sexually active population opts for it. And this is despite male vasectomies being safer and more affordable. Do you think this on-demand male contraceptives can make a positive change in the society where men largely think that family planning is a woman's responsibility?
Do I think this will make a difference in society? Absolutely. I first want to congratulate Professor Guha as well as ICMR, Professor Sharma, for doing the trials. I have waited for this contraceptive for such a long time because men do not, I hope they will not find an excuse not to use Rusuk, which sounds like a very safe and good contraceptive. And I don't think the excuse men had that both contraceptives reduce the pleasure in having sex, and second, vasectomy will make their virility go. So there is no such excuse, and we must make sure there are no excuses, there are no myths and misconceptions around this contraceptive, and we do proper shaping of demand and sharing information with the men and really encourage men to use it. Men do need to play a role in family planning, and the entire burden has been put on women. Not only do they have the biological capability and, if I may say, superiority to have a child, give birth to a child, but surely men can participate in family planning and restricting or having the number of children they want. So it is an absolutely welcome contraceptive, and I have a feeling it'll work, but we must make sure we don't allow any excuses and myths and misconceptions to be accepted by men. And finally, we will have to do some behavior change, changing social norms. Men believe, and I saw it on your data too, for Karnataka, you mentioned 48% men believe it's a women's responsibility. Well, 45% men across the country, according to the government data, the last NFHS data, believe it's a totally woman's responsibility. So I think it's time we make them realize their responsibility in using contraceptives, especially Rusuk, and we make them realize that while they don't have the ability to have babies, but they have the ability to help the mothers take care of babies, do family planning, be supportive partners to the women and participate. And it's not just about pleasure for them and leisure, and for women, all the hard work.
Yes.
So we have to work hard
Yes,
at changing social norms and getting acceptability to the hard work that has been done over years by Dr. Guha.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Ms. Mutreja, for making those critical points. I wanted to speak to you more, but we're running short of time. That was our expert panel on the need for shared contraception responsibility and also to devote more resources to get men to participate in birth control. That's all we have for you in the news break. Thank you very much for watching NDTV. Stay tuned for more news and updates.